Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we were all on time and early today, but we wanted to make sure we started late just because we didn't want to break habit. So, yeah, tonight's talk by Phuntsok is really about intentions and how Buddhism and lay practitioners or, you know, monks alike can connect to intentions through a Buddhist perspective. And it can be a little interesting to think about intentions as sort of forward thinking or goal orientated and how we connect to an intention while also considering how to stay present and not attached to an outcome necessarily. At least I hold that question, so I hope Phuntsok speaks to that a little bit. But we will also be going through a meditation tonight that will help us bring attention to our intentions in the upcoming year, just as a sort of classic thing to do at this time of the year. And of course, not all of us may recognize this moment as a new year in our culture or in our families. But just, and if it's not, then it's just a moment to reconnect with past intentions or to just to kind of take advantage of this moment to cultivate new intentions moving forward. And yeah, so Phuntsok gives these teachings every 2 weeks. I'll just say for anybody who's new here, and they are donation based, and I'll put in the chat the 3 different ways people can donate to Phuntsok's teachings. I would say the best way, if possible, is through his Patreon, which is a regular donation, but of course you can do a one-time donation through his Venmo, and maybe I think PayPal is another way that I'll add there on the chat. And just a reminder that these teachings come from Phuntsok's 20 some odd years as a monk, and is now, I don't know how many years as a non-monk. What do we call you now, Phuntsok?
I'll take that word.
A non-monk is a non-monk. And yeah, I guess with that, I will pass it over to Phuntsok and hope you all enjoy the evening.
All right, thank you, Nizam. And I'm very happy to see your faces and very happy to read some of your names whose faces I'm not seeing. So tonight is going to be a bit of a long ritual, and it's going to be connected to, at least we are in the West, and in the West, we are about to encounter something called a New Year. And usually around this time, people set intentions for the year. And this is not going to be the kind of intention where you're going to have anxiety about it for 365 days. Okay. But rather, we're going to take a new approach to intentions and understand the dynamics of intention. It's not simply making a wish in the beginning of the year and putting it aside, but rather it's actually nurturing something. Okay? So we'll go into the nature of intention as far as I have been taught within this tradition. And I will explain it in such a way that I will not betray what I was taught, but I will not necessarily explain it in a way that some of you are already familiar with, probably will understand, familiar in how it is presented, okay? But I will present it in a way that, so that everyone can, even if you don't have that kind of a background, you can understand it in a way and be able to apply it, okay? Without any sense of having any dogma attached to it that you have to adopt or anything like that. I'm almost going to present it in almost as if it's, not almost as if, but within a what you might call a scientific, okay, scientific perspective. Let's go ahead. Spiritual science, okay. Okay, and since I came here early, and some of you are shocked because of that, sorry about that shock. In the email, I did ask, it was asked for you to bring certain things for tonight's ritual if you want to participate. A candle, a piece of paper and, something to write with. And I didn't mention, of course, it was sort of like, well, if I ask you to bring a candle, you're going to bring something to light the candle with. Okay, so I didn't mean that wasn't mentioned. But sorry, if you were being very literal, say, well, you didn't say bring something to light the candle. So get something to light the candle, a lighter, match. And something I didn't mention, and I should have mentioned, is a container, because if you are able to burn something where you are, then you can put the paper in there once it's burned, okay, while it's burning. If you're able to do that actually physically, then good. If your environment doesn't provide you the opportunity to do that, then you can just do it in your mind. Okay, just crank up the mind power a little bit more. Okay, all right. And I'm gonna be saying some strange things as when we get to the actual ritual itself. Okay, so just think good thoughts. That's what my teacher used to say when he's saying things in language that we don't quite understand. He says, just think good thoughts. Okay. All right. So we will begin. And the entire thing will be a meditation. Let me bring my digital bells. Okay. I guess that is the one thing that I didn't set up yet. Okay, that is set. As I'm preparing, you too can begin to prepare. And how you will prepare is you're going to be thinking about two sets of things. Since this is a relative new year, by relative new year doesn't mean that there is an actual new year and then we are doing a fake new year. All new year is relative. It doesn't matter what culture celebrates a new year. It's all relative, okay? Because it is all relative. So because we here in the West have decided, okay, this is the new year, then therefore it becomes the new year for us, relative to us, okay? So for us, it is new year. So it is a new year. So think about the things that are up to now that you've been carrying with you that you do not want to carry with you into the new year. Okay. Those are the things that you're going to be thinking about, things that you need to get rid of. And then the other set of things that you're going to be thinking about, what are the things that you want to carry with you in the new year, or the things that you want to connect with in the new year. So think of these two things. It could be just one in each. It could be perhaps you're more focused on something that you want to develop, or you want to focus on something you want to get rid of, whatever it is that is strongest for you, both. And you can have a whole list of them. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about which one is more important than the other, just whatever comes up. So begin your preparation this way while I prepare myself. Okay, so we are going to do a very short meditation. This is not the meditation, the practice that we're going to do. Just a short meditation to bring us into the space so that we can absorb as best as possible whatever that is coming through the speakers of your device, and also to best prepare yourself so that whatever would be arising from within you, that you're ready to also receive them. So let yourself consciously know that I am going to enter meditation, and allow your entire being to respond, your body, your energy, your emotions, your mind, allow them to respond. Allow them to respond from the understanding that your body already knows what meditation is, and it knows how to get there. And it's going to guide you. You're going to feel impulses to make slight changes in your body. Listen to that intelligence. It's helping you go as deeply as possible. So listen to your body's intelligence as it guides you. It tells you to arrange your legs, maybe arrange your legs. You feel like adjusting your spine, adjust it, your arms and hands, your head and neck, until there's a sense of confidence in the body itself that, okay, the body is ready for meditation. You feel comfort and you feel stability in the posture itself. The comfort will help the mind approach and be able to enter the experience of calm and peace, the necessary signs of meditation. And the stability will help with focus and alertness. And feeling ready in the body. Take a nice deep breath. And the reason for taking this breath is setting the commitment. I am committed in this very moment, in this very session, to enter meditation. It's like signing that commitment. If you can do it entirely in your mind, that's fine. You can use the breath to sort of help you, to sort of give you like a physical something as a sign. So if you want, with the breath, gently, fully through the nose, breathe in. Hold for a second or two, and through the mouth, let go. And as you let go in the body, let go in the breath, let go in the mind, let go. And as you let go, notice the signs arising slowly in the body, slowly in the mind, slowly in the breath. The signs of pleasantness, the signs of calm, the signs of clarity, radiance, and focus. And as soon as you notice any of the signs, welcome them, rejoice that they are present. Whether they are present in the body, whether they are present in the mind, whether they're present in the breath, whether they're present energetically, wherever they are, in however many places that they present themselves, welcome them and rejoice in their presence. And at the end of that breath, just stay connected to the signs that you're touching the meditative state, the calm, the pleasantness, the inner sensations arising, connecting you, pointing to clarity, pointing to radiance. And if you wish to stabilize where you've reached, to sort of deepen the sense that you are in some measure in the meditative state, you can take 3 conscious full breaths as before, in through the nose, out the mouth. And at the end of each exhalation, try to stay where you've reached as you take in the next inhalation. And letting yourself go deeper into the calm in the body, deeper into the calm in the breath, deeper into the calm in the mind, deeper into the pleasantness, deeper into the vividness and clear appearances of the sensations. Staying in that depth, take a deep breath. Stay, and then go deeper, let go. Let go. Notice the signs are enhancing in the body. Rejoice. Notice the signs enhancing in the breath and the mind. Rejoice. Notice the signs enhancing energetically. Rejoice. Stay in that depth as you breathe in. Stay. And again, completely release. And as you release, notice you are going deeper into the signs, deeper into the calm, deeper into the pleasantness, deeper into the whatever sensation that is arising, whether it's tactile, whether it's visual, whether it's some sort of inner sound, whatever is arising, notice how clearer it is appearing, how more vivid it is appearing. That's the clarity, that's the radiance. Rejoice. And as you are in that space, confidently knowing that you are in some measure in the meditative state, that is right now, at this very moment, you are abiding in a more subtle level of consciousness, more powerful means to bring about intentional transformation. So staying in that state, consciously being aware of that, bring your attention to the space in front of you at the level of your eyebrows. While your attention is drawn to that space, we begin to sense a sensation in the forehead. Whatever sensation you experience, whether it's heat, whether it's pulse, whether it's magnetic, whatever you feel, consider it to be because there's a presence there. And what is that presence? It is your ideal self presenting itself to guide you. This is your infallible guide. It is the very embodiment of every aspiration, every noble aspiration you could ever have. And here it is present to guide you. And keeping in mind some noble quality that it embodies, and feeling a natural sense of reverence for that quality in your own way, express a deep sense of reverence. Express a deep sense of trust. And find that measure of conviction, that measure of conviction that you are indeed making contact with your infallible guide, your own aspirations, the embodiment of your highest aspirations. And it has guided you, it is guiding you, and it will continue to guide you. And with that sense of certainty, whatever that measure may be, it could be 2%, 0.5%, whatever measure of that certainty, stay in that measure of certainty of that and express gratitude, a gratitude that expresses complete conviction. What I aspire to is set already. Like someone who you completely trust makes a promise to you, and you are grateful to the person, not that they've already completed what they've promised, but you are so convinced you're so certain that they will come through you feeling gratitude. So in that same way, express gratitude. Bring to mind how whatever gifts you may receive tonight through your own innate, from this very, very embodiment of your own aspiration, your highest aspiration, how you will share this gift. And don't worry about sharing it with who you're going to be sharing it with. Just have the intention to share it. Have that willingness, that readiness to share it. So you're doing this tonight, not just for yourself, but for those you care about. And even if through me mistakes are said, somehow that innate truth knower within you will adjust and give you the truth that you need. And get ready to come out of the meditation. With that sense of readiness to receive, not just from outside, not just through your senses, but also from within, but they're all connected somehow. Take a nice deep breath. And through the mouth, release. Okay. I'm not sure if you heard the bell. Well, it wasn't quite a bell. It was like a little gong, like a flat gong. Okay. I'll choose a better one next time. Yeah, this one. Okay, stop it already. All right. The way to begin this, we have to begin with a common understanding of intentions. And I know that I've encountered what I may call seasoned Buddhists who, when they're talking about intentions, sometimes there's confusion between intention and goal setting, intention and not necessarily goal setting, but especially from the school that teaches meditation in such a way that you shouldn't have any goals in your mind when you're meditating. You shouldn't be thinking, should be thinking about the future when you're meditating. You shouldn't be thinking about the same way you shouldn't be thinking about the past. Having intention is like focusing on the future, focusing on some desired outcome. Okay. Yes, there are instruction that advises that while you're meditating, you shouldn't be focusing on you shouldn't be attached to some desired outcome. But it's not the same thing as before you meditate that you should have an intention. In fact, every meditative tradition within Buddhism, whether it's the northern or the southern, Theravadan or Mahayana, Vajrayana, doesn't really matter. Every form, Zen, every form of meditative tradition within Buddhism, every form of meditative tradition outside of Buddhism, whether it's mystical Christianity or whether it is Taoism, whether it's Hindu, some form connected to Hinduism, yoga tradition, doesn't really matter. Every, I would say, legitimate tradition of meditation, they make an emphasis on intention, that let your intention actually inform the meditation session that you're going to have. So what is it that they're trying to point to when you're talking about this kind of intention? And at the same time, within these same traditions, you're being told, don't hold on to wishing for some sort of outcome. It seems to be the same thing, wishing for an outcome and having an intention. It seems to be the same thing. The way to sort of help make that distinction, I'm not gonna quote him word for word, but it's something that I heard from Jamyang Khyentse Rinpoche, where the way he defined intention, I think it's in that tiny little book that he has, What Makes You Not a Buddhist. It's a nice little book. If you want to, you can read it on an airplane ride. Okay, it's so small. Okay, and it's packed full of ways of sort of understanding the sort of like the essence of Buddhism, especially, no matter which tradition you're following. Anyway, in there, he describes intention as, he used imagery. See, intention is like a rope, like a lasso that you throw towards in a direction where you want to go, and it anchors itself to where you want to go, and then you stay connected with that rope. So you set the intention, and you're connected to it, and it's a way of bringing to you that desired goal. So it's not just having the desired goal, but rather, here is my somewhat spiritual scientific explanation. Okay. Think of intention as the capacity to direct creative energy. Oh my goodness. That sounds almost like New Agey. Sorry about that. But that's how you should consider intentions to be. What you're doing is like you are taking creative energy and then you're setting it towards a certain path. Okay, so that's what intention is. So that means you can have conscious intentions and you can also have unconscious intentions. That is, you can consciously hold and direct creative energy towards a particular outcome, or you can have an outcome that you're experiencing and you can know it was connected to some sort of intention. So know that, spiritual, scientifically speaking, every experience that we have, whether it is an experience that we want or an experience that we don't want, it came from some sort of intention. We lassoed our connection to some outcome and we brought it in. Okay, we anchored ourselves to some outcome. So whatever experience we have came from some form of intention. So intention is key. You cannot not have intentions. It's either you're conscious of it or you are unconscious of it. Now, and both of these, whether we are conscious of them or unconscious of them, they can fall into two kinds of categories. And the two categories that they fall into are they skillful or unskillful? And this is a better way of sort of categorizing them, rather than this way that is so filled with cultural baggage, good intention, bad intention. Okay, throw that out the window. Okay, we're not talking about good intention or bad intention here. We're talking about skillful intention or unskillful intention. Meaning, what makes it skillful? Like, you didn't just take the rope and just throw it blindly, and you're waiting to see what's gonna what it's gonna bring to you. That will be unskillful. Okay. So as long as you throw the rope, it has a hook, it's gonna hook itself. Well, I guess it's not a lasso. Lassos don't have hooks. Okay. All right. If it's a hook, it's a kind of fish hook that you can. Never mind. Okay, it's a hook. Well, if a hook is too violent for you, okay, it's a lasso. Choose your rope. Okay. As long as you throw it, it's gonna latch onto something, and eventually, it's gonna start reeling itself back to you. You're gonna find yourself going in that direction. It's like there's a line that you create, a line of energy, where that will direct you to encounter, to have an experience. Okay, so think of it that way, right? So either you do it blindly, you have no idea, but it's not like you're thinking in your mind, I don't care what I get, I'll just throw it. We never, no one ever does that. Okay. What makes it unskillful is that, like, for example, just a quick way to understand skillful and unskillful. And I'm keeping watch of the time, because we have to do some little ritual there. Okay. You have yeah, actually, there's this example that's just very, very close. Let's say, for example, your father is your parents are very conservative, and they even control how you cut your hair. Okay. And your parent comes to you, one of your parents comes to you and say, oh, what you doing with your hair? Basically wanting to have a say of how your hair, the kind of hair you should, how you should be styling your hair. Now, you can be skillful in the sense of, I want to keep this kind of style of hair. So what is the skillful thing for me to do so I can get to keep it? Okay. If you lash out at your very conservative parent who are very controlling, do you think that would be a skillful thing to do, even though your intention is to keep the hairstyle you want? No, that is doing an unskillful act here. You want something, but what you did is not anyway going to connect you to the result that you want. Okay, that will be unskillful. Or in this, with this sort of example, you can, you know that your parent loved to be what's that term? You know, give your parent the sense that, yes, you're in control, and of course I agree with you, and then you sort of like, butter them up. Okay, butter up your parents. Okay, now that becomes a skillful thing to do, because you get to keep your hair, you get to keep your style. Okay, so that's the difference between being skillful and being unskillful. And the reason for understanding skillfulness and unskillfulness as far as intention is concerned, do you really want that outcome? If you really want that outcome, don't be attached to how you're going to get it. If for example, I'm attached to telling my parents off, let him know what's in my mind. I'm attached to that. Okay. And I want to keep the style of my hair. So I'm attached to speaking the way I want to speak, even though it's not going to get me what I want. So the question is, do you really want to keep that hairstyle? Or you just want to tell your parents off? Okay? So you have to make a choice. Okay? Because there's a skillful way to get it, and there's an unskillful way that will not get it for you. Okay? So, all right. So take out the hair thing, and then now think of something more serious. Okay? You have to consider, do you really want that outcome? And how do you know that you really want that outcome? You examine it. You allow yourself to feel. You allow yourself to sort of live in that moment where you have that outcome, and sort of witness how your entire being is responding to that possibility. Are there parts of you that are actually in rebellion, that they don't really want that? And have you had a conversation with those parts of you to find out why? And can they be convinced? Can they be persuaded? Or perhaps they can persuade you to no longer have that wish. Okay. And so the thing is, you want to arrive at a place of conviction that I really want this outcome. Okay. And the rope, the skillful way of connecting to that is mainly in some way connect with that in some fashion that is in alignment with its nature. Okay. And to sort of, that is sort of like a generalizing what is skillful and what is unskillful, where you yourself can sort of, in your own experience, come to realize, okay, this is skillful, this is unskillful. Now, I'm going to give you a guidance as to what has been presented as possibilities of skillful or unskillful. If it's in alignment with the nature, with the truth of the thing. Are you hearing this fire truck going by?
It's not so bad.
Oh,
no.
Great. Because it was so loud. That's why I was shouting. Okay. So, and what is it what is it that will make it skillful? Be in alignment. Let the rope that connect you be in alignment with the nature, with the truth of it. Okay. So strong emotions, clear that this is what you want, and then somehow connect with the nature of it, the reality of it, the truth of it. Okay. These are very, very key to being skillful. And what is it? And what are some of the things that shows that you are in alignment with the nature, with the truth of it, with the true nature of it? Okay, the true nature of reality. I'm gonna quickly jump into. I'm not going to give a new teaching, but quickly go into. If you remember the Eightfold Path, quickly. The first important part of the Eightfold Path, basically, think of it this way. How do you get what you have? There's 8 stages that we go through that gives us what we get, gives us what we have. The very key, the most important part of it is what kind of convictions do you have? What view do you have about the world? Is your view narrow or is your view universal? Is your view in connection with, in alignment with your actual experiences? That is another way of saying it. Is your view in alignment with the nature of reality? That will be more universal, okay? And that itself will determine the kind, whether you can be skillful in your intentions. Okay. So if your intentions are coming from a place where you're in alignment with the nature of truth, with the nature of reality, then your intention will be skillful. And what are some of these universal things? That is, what are some things that sort of summarize the nature of things, nature of experience, underlying nature of things, like almost you could say the universe is heading towards a specific direction, the directionality of the universe, so to speak. Love, compassion, and being truthful to your experiences. Be aware of how I avoided saying wisdom, because just like good and bad, they have cultural baggages that you have to struggle with. I'm not saying wisdom, so you can think about, is it whose wisdom? What wisdom? I'm just talking about being truthful to your experience. That's wisdom. Okay. So if it's coming from any of these places, being truthful to your experience, do I really want this? Am I wanting this because I was told to want this? Okay. What is it that I really want? That is being truthful to your experiences. Okay. And then seeing how this creates a greater connection. See how this empowers you to be a benefit in the world. And the world doesn't have to be, the entire Milky Way. Just your world, the people that you encounter with, the people who are very close to you. That's your world. Okay. To what degree is it benefiting them? Okay. So if it's coming from that, then it will be, it is skillful intention. Okay. And quickly, the difference between what we are warned not to have when we are meditating, and then what we are encouraged to have before we start to meditate. For example, if you have the intention, your spirit, what is the ultimate aim of your spiritual journey? What do you see as, what do you envision as a conviction within you as, this is what I actually am capable of achieving? Okay, whether it's a better life, if that's what you are sincerely see as the aim, as the goal, then be truthful to yourself. If you see somehow you can see beyond this life, and then you can see something beyond this life, and it's a sincere conviction within you, and that's your aim, then are you aware of it? And to the point where within the Mahayana tradition, within the Tibetan tradition, where the intention as what they consider to be the ultimate aim is to be yourself a fully enlightened being. Okay, that sounds very poetic, that sounds very nice, to say my intention is to be a fully enlightened being, but is that really, do you really believe that? Do you really see it as part of your continuum? Okay. So find out what is truly what you see as an ultimate for you. Okay. And apply these ways, the skillful ways of being truthful to your experience, deep wish to connect, experience connection, and then seeking to be a benefit to those in your world. Okay. So in the beginning, of your session, you connect with that, what is truth for you. What I really sincerely believe as the end goal is this. So I intend my intention is to, let's say the highest one, my intention is to be fully enlightened. Okay, then you set that up and you sort of like align yourself to it. You have a sincere understanding what does it mean to be fully enlightened. You have that sincere understanding of that, and that's how you connect to it. Your sincere understanding of what that means to you. That's your connection to it. Okay. And as you meditate, you don't keep telling yourself, I'm wishing to be fully enlightened. Where is it? I'm wishing to be fully enlightened. Where is it? I'm wishing to be fully enlightened. What are the signs? Well, I'm wishing to be. So that would be what they are telling us, advising us, don't do that. Okay. So there has to be a measure of conviction in your intention. The measure of conviction will allow you to be settled, not be anxious, having a part of your mind looking, is it there yet? Is it there yet? Is it there? I don't see the sign yet. So that's basically a distraction. You're distracting yourself from actually being able to reach that aim. So that's what they're advising us against when they tell us don't have expectations. And as you're meditating, okay, what are the signs that I'm reaching enlightenment? I don't see any, my fingers are not turning into light yet. I still have, wait a minute, I'm checking your mind. I still have that attachment. No, don't do that. While you set the intention, you let it go. And you have conviction that the steps that you're taking will eventually take you to that. And you're focusing at the present moment on what the task is at hand. What is it that you need to do at that moment? It's like looking ahead and not looking what's around you, and you just keep looking ahead. It's like you're blinding yourself to what's around you, and you may end up in an accident. Okay. All right. So that's in a way that I can present the distinction between what is it that the Buddhists are trying to tell us when they give us that can create that confusion about whether to have an intention or not when you're meditating, when you're practicing. Okay. Intention is sincerely connect with what you are convinced, you are convinced is an ultimate for you. And it can change, of course. Today, you think that I want to reach enlightenment. I want to reach enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. But in reality, you come to discover that you just want to be famous. And you think that's a good way for you to be famous. So it's not that you want to reach enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings, but we are really, I'm really convinced that being famous is somehow extremely beneficial for me. And then even though I say I want to reach enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, what's really my true intention is to be famous. Okay. And by being sincere, questioning, having that, having a conference with all the different parts of you to see, do you all agree? Do all the parts of you agree with this term? And you may discover in those moments, what I really want is just being famous. And then you can tweak. What does that mean? You discover that that's I really want to be famous. That means that's your real intention. That's what really driving you. That's the unconscious intention. Now you can now you know where energy is being directed towards, what kind of experience it's trying to create for you. Now you can take that, redirect that energy towards something else. Okay, where perhaps your understanding of what it means to be enlightened is a bit more in alignment with the nature of enlightenment itself. Okay, So it will change. So don't worry about your intentions changing. As long as it is sincere, that's good. And because of the sincerity of your intention, even though you may be using the wrong words, the sincerity will help you discover that. Okay, just always be truthful to your experiences. All right, so now what's really going to be doing with the ritual that we're going to do. It's a very short ritual, so don't worry about the time, okay? I'm in the very beginning. Then you're going to write it down on a piece of paper. All right. If only we had background music, you can be listening to some background music as we write our, okay. And just let it flow. Let it flow. Let it be sincere. Don't worry about it sounding correct or incorrect or nice or not nice. Just be truthful to your experience. What is it that's happening in your life that you don't want to carry in the next year? And make sure your pen can write. Oh, one more thing. Okay. So you have it, those things that either this year they came up or they've been with you for quite some time, and it's time to let them go because you've witnessed your life and you see that these things are not helping me. Okay. And we're going to use a kind of psychology to deal with that. And as you have this list in your hands and you look at them, and these are things that are present in your life, these are things that are happening in your life, and now you recognize they don't serve me anymore. And the sort of I don't know exactly what to call this kind of psychology, but this is how we're going to look at it. We're going to think of these things as we use our power to bring these things in our lives, whether they are lackings, things that are lacknesses, or they are present things that are actually present, or things, or the condition of things being lacking. Okay, those kind of conditions, whatever it is, and understand that through my own power, I connected my life with these. And understand that it's not because there's a little hater of you inside you who wants to harm you, who wants to destroy you. Okay, don't think that. Because such a little thing doesn't exist. That's why people who approach it that way can never find such a thing, can never find such a part of them. There is no part of you that hates you. Okay? As a matter of fact, just pure evolution, just pure self-preservation, every part of you does what it does to protect you, to love you, because it believes it is the best thing for you. It believes you not having this is the best thing for you. It believed you having this was the best thing for you. It was misguided. Okay, it was misguided. It was unskillful, but it never thought that, oh, let me destroy you. I'm going to make you not have this. Let me destroy you. Let me make weakness in your life. Okay, so you have this understanding, have this relationship with all these things, and now have a sense of connecting with that part of you that actually was powerful enough to create these experiences. Respect its power. Respect its power for not having such and such in your life and making you not have it. Respect the power that made these things actual experiences that you cannot avoid. Respect that power. And understand this power is connected to a love for you. Misguided, but it was a love for you. Okay? Like, for example, you went through some sort of trauma, and at the level of understanding that you had, you thought that not having this is going to help, is going to protect me from this experience. So you made sure you'd never encounter that. And you became extremely sensitive, extremely skillful at noticing the signs when this thing is going to come in your life so you can avoid it. You know what they call self-sabotage? Become so skillful at recognizing those things because we have already made the conclusion, the conviction, this is not good for us. And it could be something called success, whatever it is that you understand success to be. The reason you find yourself not able to get that thing is because we have set it up that it's good for us not to have success. Because some experience told us that if we have success, it's going to be bad. And when we see the signs success is coming, we do something unconsciously, we do something to avoid it. Okay? Now that we recognize, wait a minute, I don't want to avoid those things anymore, or whatever it is, or I don't want these things to be present anymore. So have a conversation with that part of you. Thank you for your power and your love, your concern for me, that you actually created these things in my life. Thank you. And I know this is done out of concern, out of care for me. And because you care for me, we need to have this no longer present. We need to have this lacking no longer present. Okay, so have that going strongly in your mind. And take the piece of paper and sort of like fold it. You're going to have it ready. And now if you have the candle, if you can light it, get ready to light it. Now you're thinking about, what about those good qualities? If you want to write them down, you can also write them down, but it's not necessary. Okay. Because what we are going to do, we are going to infuse the candle with those good qualities. Okay. So think of those, what you want to be present in the coming year. And here come those funny words. Om Yamantaka Hun Hun Pe. Because of the power of relativity, this is no longer just candle. This is a way for your own goodness to appear in a way that you can witness. It's now taken the form of the candle. And think of the qualities that you want to carry with you into the future as this light, as you light the candle. Umma ahung, umma ahung, umma ahung, umma ahung, umma ahung. And when your candle is lit, don't just think of it, even though you're seeing candle, don't think of it as candle. These are the qualities that you want to be brilliant and shining within you. Set your intentions there. How are you gonna carry yourself in the future? How are you gonna carry yourself in the new year? And that's what's present, that's what's appearing as the light of the candle. And perhaps as you're thinking about those qualities, there might be a little bit of hesitation within you because the parts of you are not convinced. Is this good for me? Do we really want that? If that's naturally occurring, then have a conversation with the part of you that is hesitating. It needs to be convinced. So convince it. Don't worry about having a very long, drawn out debate with it. Just tell yourself, right now I'm convinced I need this. And as you're gonna, of course, burn the paper that has all those things that you no longer need, right? And as you bring it to the flame, don't just think paper is being introduced to the flame, but think of all those qualities that are present in your life, or those qualities that lacking that you have present in your life, encountering those good qualities you want. And those good qualities is creating this experience where those qualities are now being removed. You've proven to your own wisdom, to your own wisdom. Yes, we don't need these anymore. And as it is burning, keep telling yourself, I am free. I'm free of what? I'm free of such and such. I'm free of such and such. I'm free of such a lackness. As you witness the paper burning, I'm free of such and such. I'm free of such lackness. I'm filled with such and such quality. And if you know this, you can say it with me as it burns. And you can think of the sounds that we were hearing, where the sounds, it was the sound effect of those qualities of being obliterated, being in the space of your being ignited with the qualities that you are aspiring to. And just like this candle is remaining steady and bright, feel those good qualities that you're aspiring to brightening within you. And now I'm taking the example, for example, let's say somehow the powerful within you said, success is not good for you. So when I see those signs, I'm gonna protect you and not let you have them. Okay. So that is no longer present. Now see this light within you, and it becomes like a magnet. Now, when you see the signs, you bring them in. You bring them into your life. See yourself moving in the world in such a way that your view, your intention is in alignment with the nature, the truth of what you want. And the way you speak, the way you communicate, the way the kind of steps you take in your life, they are all taking you in the direction of your intentions, of your skillful intentions. You're relating with others in such a way that the very relating is connecting you to the aim of your intentions. You're relating with the members of your family. You're relating with your friends. You're relating with strangers you encounter. And that strong intention is bright within you, determining how you relate, how you communicate, how you act. And each one of these, how you communicate, how you act, how you think, all these are taking you closer and closer. And as you're taking closer and closer, see your life unfolding. Perhaps there are certain relationships or ways of relating that you need to stop. See yourself no longer engaging in those, even though you're in the same situation as before, and have this joy within you. Have this beaming joy within you. We're going to do an extremely fast time travel. Ready? Fasten your seatbelts. So you no longer have those absences. Witness the absence of those lacknesses. Rejoice. They are filled with the light of what you want. And time is speeding. You see yourself, the meditation, the session is over, see yourself standing up and see yourself going about doing what you are going to do in this evening, and then see yourself infusing the space with acting out of those intentions. You don't have to constantly think about them. You just witness, oh my God, look at that. As if you're a third party witnessing yourself behaving the way that you intended to behave, speaking the way you wanted to behave, speak, communicating the way you communicate, being skillful, being in alignment. And you go to bed and you feel with such joy, so rejoicing. There's no regret whatsoever. Everything you did was in alignment with your truth, with what you truly intended. You have a wonderful dream. You dream the world exactly, almost as if someone came into your mind, took your dreams, and then make you able to see it very clearly. And you wake up joyful because of that dream. And that intention is shining bright within you. And there's this spiritual line connecting you, your being, towards an outcome. And everything you do, wherever it takes you, it's to help you get closer to that. And the next day go by, everyone you encounter, people in your family, your friends, strangers, you communicate, you relate, everything you do connects you, takes you closer. And it's a week has gone by, wake up, sleep. A month has gone by. Now, time is going past in terms of months going by. Now, a full year, and now it's, as you sit right here, right now, think of it, it's the end of the year that we are going into. It's 2023, we are looking into 2024, and we are looking back at how 2023 happened, and we feel so much joy, so much contentment. We had the year exactly the way we wanted. The things that we didn't want did not show up. The things that we wanted to show up showed up. We showed up the way we wanted to show up. And we are rejoicing looking back at the year. And we can sort of feel a kind of evolution. We can sort of feel a kind of refinement in our intention for the next year. And now the years are going by. Years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And each time we look back, we are extremely content looking back at the year, looking forward to the next year. And the intention is becoming more refined, more evolved. Now it's a decade has gone by, and you're looking at the entire decade, and you feel so satisfied with yourself. And when you're thinking about certain qualities you used to have, it almost feels like you're talking about someone else. Doesn't seem to be connected to the big person that you are at all. The people around you feel a deep connection to you, deep respect for you. They admire you, they respect you. And think of that, all that sort of stored in that presence that was in front of you. And that bright presence come to the crown of your head, becomes a tiny spark of light, enters into your heart, and it's like a programming, and your mind is completely reprogrammed. Don't even think about the things that no longer serve you. They're not with you anymore. They were burned by the brightness, by the light, the qualities that you are now embodying, that you will carry forward with you. And just in case your intentions were sort of multifaceted, see if there is a theme, either a phrase or a word that can sort of summarize it for you. So if you need to be thrown into that experience again, just saying that word to yourself will help you. A word or a phrase. And once you have that phrase or that word, find within you a measure, that measure of conviction, that measure of part of you that is sort of like believes in the impossible, that has no doubt whatsoever. And it might be a tiny fraction, or it might be, its present might be not so overwhelming in your being, but it's somewhere in the corner, somewhere in your being. So go in that corner, stay in that corner with it, no matter how small it may be. And while you're in that corner, feeling great confidence, say that word or say that phrase 7 times. And completely just let it go. Don't think about it anymore. A seed has been planted, and you don't have to keep removing it and replanting it to see if it's there. Okay, reconnect with a sense of being in the meditative state, whatever measure of peace, whatever measure of contentment you're experiencing, be connected to it. Allow the experiences pointing to clarity and radiance, allow them to take place without being attached to them, without being averse to them. And now we're gonna collect together the energy of tonight's session. And again, bring that phrase that sort of summarizes your intention for the year, for the coming year. And make a dedication. Gyodi Kyoken Sunam Yeshe Tsogzo Shin Sunam Yeshel Echon Tamba Kunye Tombarash. Oh. So this energy is locked, sealed for a specific outcome. So you don't have to worry about it. Get ready to come out of the meditation. Take a nice deep breath. And as you release, let yourself reconnect with your immediate surroundings consciously, deliberately, through your sense of touch, sense of sight, sense of hearing. Okay. All right, so, yep, I did run over time. So you're not shocked there. What you're gonna do with that phrase, you're gonna repeat it in the morning, every morning. And then just like you did in the meditation, you forgot about it, you're gonna forget about it during the day. But you repeat it only in the morning. So like set the intention for the day with that phrase. And then as soon as you finish saying it, you let it go. Okay. And make it as, it's supposed to be as broad as possible, as universal as possible for you, that is. Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year. I say Happy Gregorian New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Phuntsok.
You can, if you want to say something, you can come off mute. And if you do have a candle that you lit, don't turn it off. Probably some of you probably did that already. Sorry. Just put it somewhere and let it burn out by itself, somewhere safe. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Phuntsok.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
And
nice
thank
2
you,
weeks.
newcomer.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I guess nobody's going to be talking. All right.
That was wonderful. That felt so nice.
Thank you. It was great.
Of course, that was extremely abbreviated form of the ritual. This was just the essence of it. So a lot of the things that could have been, you could say, more connected to devotional energy or religious sort of covering. So I just skipped over that and just went to the essence of it.
Mm.
It would have been longer than 3 hours.
Wow.
Wow. Wouldn't have been lovely.
Cut it down to 5 minutes.
Mm.
All right, then. I'm going to say good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Thank
Night.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Good
you.
night, Phuntsok.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.